Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this update we're going to take a look at something a little bit more global, and yet you do have access to this. Now remember, the big narrative in the US is inflation and hawkish central bank monetary policy. Well, this is happening across all the G7, G8 countries. What do I mean? Is this happening in the UK? Yes. Is this happening in Europe? Yes. Are we seeing the same thing playing out in Canada? Yes. So we have access to these markets. I know a lot of folks are wondering what happens next in the Dow or the NASDAQ or the S&P, but the truth of the matter is we have clarity in a number of countries by way of their currency, and also I'm going to teach you about MSCI iShares. So we're going to do a little bit about currencies as well as ETFs that tend to move with them. So let's start it off with the euro. This is a trade that we've talked about for a while. If you've been watching these free videos, you're probably already in this euro, and this has been a great trade for us. This is US dollar strength and euro weakness. So this is sell the rip, double red, short into the wave. Now, when we look at the euro, there are two ETFs that come to mind. EWG is Germany, and that basically mimics the DAX. We also have EWQ. This is France, and this mimics the CAC 40. Now, when we take a look at EWG and EWU, I don't have access to those futures contracts. I'm not going to trade them either. They can be pretty illiquid. But notice they're both below the 200 propulsion. These are shortable indices. In fact, these have better clarity than the US indices. When you take a look at the Qs and the NASDAQ futures, the diamonds or the Dow futures, they're quite choppy. So this is just Europe and the euro. Now, what if we go beyond that? Let's take a look at the 6C. This is now the Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar is in an uptrend. Why would the Canadian dollar be in an uptrend? Hawkish monetary policy, wanting to increase rates? Yes. However, remember, the number 1 and 2 exports out of Canada are energy, mostly focused around crude oil and lumber. Well, if you've taken a look at the crude oil chart lately, you know that it's been in an uptrend for a while. That benefits the Canadian economy. That plays out. Take a look at this double green uptrend in EWC. We don't have a double green uptrend in any of the major indices in the US, but here is the EWC moving higher along with the 6C futures. This is that type of correlation and cohesion that helps us make better trades. Now, this isn't the only place. We have strength also in Australia. This is the 6A futures. These are all liquid majors, gang. When you walk into those futures contracts or the options on them, you're going to see liquidity. Look at the 6A. Is this a buy the dip? This thing's been double green since the end of March. Propulsion dots above the 200. This is a straight up buy the dip, absolutely. And then if we take a look at the EWA, again, how do you trade the country? These are the MSCI, that's the company that puts them together, iShares. So now we've got this EWA that's buy the dippable, right? Is that a word? It is now. We have the 6A, also double green, buy the dippable. Another country to keep an eye on, and this has been a monster trade for us that we've talked about in the macro market deep dives that I do for members, Brazil. If I know that we have a commodity inflationary environment, why is Canada moving higher? Crude oil, lumber. Why is Australia moving higher? Aluminum, iron ore. They are the third largest digger of gold on the planet. So they're going to benefit from this increase in good old-fashioned grocery store commodity futures prices. EWZ is Brazil, cotton, cocoa. Well, maybe not cotton as much, but cocoa, sugar. These are softs. Softs are moving up higher. Brazil's going to benefit from that inflation in commodities. These are commodity countries. Their economies rely on export of the commodities that are grown, made, manufactured, refined, you name it, in their country. And the currencies that move along with them are called COMDOLs, commodity dollars. We have access to those via the futures markets. We have access to the countries via the ETFs. We don't have to be so focused on what's going to happen with the S&P next. By the way, I'll give you a little hint. If you like the S&P, keep an eye on healthcare. All right. So there are ways to crack this market open and look in unusual places. The last one is if I have weakness in the euro, the pound, and the yen, which we do right now, green light to buy dollar index futures or the UUP on the dip. So plenty to look at, plenty of gorgeous trends. And as I like to remind our traders, the trend is out there, right? I so love this show. X-Files, well, the truth is out there maybe, but the trend is out there too. Keep an eye out for them. It's going to help you benefit from a better watch list and better follow through in this environment. Don't look where everybody else is looking. This is where you want to focus your attention. I'll see you all in the next update. Hey traders, Raghee from Simpler Trading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment below. And remember, subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll get notified of the next update. And when you're ready to join me for live trading, be sure to head on over to simplertrading.com. I'll see you in the next update.